So, on lead card for the second round, back 6 strokes of Will Howard. He shot really hot in the first round. It's Will, Lance, me, and Mason from the last round. You saw Lance there, but trying to do the same thing, try to shoot as best as I can. Maybe try to catch Will, but still throwing my Halo S Blend Scepter here. Just pull it over on the forehand. Not that excited about it. We come over here, and I'm trying my hardest to find a look at the basket. I feel like this is a range that I can give myself some confidence from. Find a little line right here and just pitch it up right next to the basket.
Weren't they both also
Talking
like
some
Hey, there's that blue.
talking some crap there after both guys kind of caged their putts, but just tap in par to start the round. Of course, you don't really like to miss hole 9 like we did last round, but it's okay. Step up to hole 10, see if we can get something started here. Just want to play it the exact same like I did in the first round. Swirly Esplin Emperor. I do leave it a little bit more inside here, but it does get a more forward skip instead of a flare, so we do end up in an okay position. We are split by this tree right in front of me here, so I can't really go drop. I'm going to go Fireball here, just want to pull it over slightly. That's what I do. And I thought this was an absolutely phenomenal shot, and it was. Leaves me inside the circle. I'd say maybe in that 15 to 20 foot range, maybe all the way up to 25, but still a shot that I should make with my putting today. Lining up, feel confident, feel really confident in it, and then I just completely pull the putt. First time I've done that all day. Make the comebacker, but that is not a good thing to do, especially when the leader is hot. Started 2 for 2. Hole 11, I did change my play here. Wanted to go with an Emperor. We came over here and did it in practice. Parked it, and then just completely turned this one over. So, I should have probably went with a forehand here. I tried to get pretty. Went for a long anti-jump putt. Leaves me with a longer putt on the back side, but I know I can make this one. The problem is I'm coming off of a really bad miss in the last hole for birdie. This one for par. Taking my time with my routine here. And hit low left. I know I can hit low left and it's going to stick. And we get the par there. Going to hole 12. Want to make the adjustment from the first round. Get a little bit more ante on this one. And just do not commit at all. Leave it more outside. Not a lot of ante and much shorter of where I was in the first round. So got a thorn in my leg here. So I really don't have a chance at running this here. Having to find my balance. I'm just going to try to go around the tree here in the middle and pitch up for par. And my putter stays straight long enough for me to do that. So another tap in, but par through 4. Now for the first backhand of this round, hole 13. We know we pulled it in the first round, so just really focusing on leaving my glacier more straight and inside, and that's essentially exactly what I do, but it's a little bit too inside. I thought this was going to be really good. I knew there was a chance that it could have gotten knocked down, and that's what I'm saying right there. And yeah, so we're left with a gap putt, and I wanna run this as much as possible. Potentially a little bit too aggressive here. Gotta try to get this flat to slight ante. And just pull it straight into the tree. That's probably the worst miss so far in the tournament. So over here, I did find a little bit of a line with a straddle. It's really tough to get power here. It's a lot of highs or leave it short, so not a real chance there to give it a bid. But a tap in here, essentially. But it is for a bogey. Of course, not what we wanted there, but there is a hole that we can get that stroke back immediately. Hole 14 is eagleable if I throw a good tee shot here. Throwing my scepter, stop right there. Got my footing a little bit mixed up right there. Just want to throw this scepter to the left side on a little bit flat, maybe slight anhyzer. I thought I threw this perfect. It is the slightest bit too long. You have to aim for that middle gap, and if it was the slightest bit shorter, this could have been absolutely perfect. But now we're having to go in between two trees, and of course my backhand has not been the best today. So I'm just going to throw a roam in here and just leave it on entirely too much hyzer, not committed at all. It does end up getting knocked down to a point where I think I can still possibly get the birdie. So I'm going to try to line up a high anhyzer line with the tempo on forehand find a hole right in my run up here. But I know here I really have to commit because it needs to get left a lot, and a lot. I probably should have thrown backhand here, but I do commit to this forehand. Leave it okay. It's kind of inside, not enough Anheuser. Holds a long way, fights out at the end. There's a stream that I didn't even know was behind the basket. Yeah, I'm I'm over there, near there. I had to get Lance to come over and kind of show my shot because that's how out of it I am right here. Give it a decent bid, and now we're essentially tapping in for par. Par both rounds is not bad, but you don't really want par both rounds. You want to get at least one stroke under par through 2 rounds here. So hole 15, I kind of just want to do the same thing that I did last round. Throw my Sphinx flat and just turn it over high, and I leave it on hyzer. It gets very straight. We had no idea what happened to this one. Couldn't really see where it landed. We were kind of confused by it. Ends up getting knocked down just before the back line. That would have made it really jail. So another potential forehand play right here. I don't think I could have played a backhand just because all the shrubbery right next to me. Just want to put Anheuser on this tempo again and put it on essentially no Anheuser. Get kicked by the tree. If that would have gotten through, it would have probably been OB. So a really lucky tree right there. But got a little bit of an Annie putt, like an Annie to flex out putt that I can try to run right here, or just get it up there for a par. That's what I'm going to try to do right here. Didn't give it enough height, but it does get up there well into the circle. I'm perfectly fine with that. And take my time here, not wanting to miss another short putt. These putts have really gotten confident for me over the last few weeks. So nice make there for the par. Here, I switched to a standstill backhand Luna instead of the forehand last round, and immediately I knew I threw this a little bit too hard. Just went too far here. So on this back tree line, I find a roller line that I like. Gonna throw my Meta, I think it's Meta Seed Line Splice. It's the Ganon DNA series. But it doesn't stand up all the way, but wow. Bat got really far, nearly just shy of pin high here. For a long putt. You see it zoomed out. This is probably like 50-ish feet. Need a slight Anheuser on it. Boom. Essentially straddle. It's a straight putt, and I make that a huge make for me. Get back to even par into a part of the course that I know I can score, and it's really nice to get the birdie on 16 after the bogey last round on 16. So just trying to throw the same shot I threw last round. Halo Esplin Scepter. And I do pull it a little bit going into that backside tree line. It does fade enough in time and gets just short of that tree line. So we're putting probably a really deep circle 1 or shallow circle 2 here. A long putt. One I know I can make again. It's just on an elevated green. Boom. Bottom right. Really good putt. Back-to-back really good putts. And we are back under par. Hole 18, I was considering in between the rounds laying this up, but I found that I didn't start the round the best. I should probably just try to go as far as possible, and if I do kick, I can still save par. Throw my Swirly Esplin Emperor here, pull it to the right. I get lucky as crap. Kind of gets all the way through, gets to push forward.
Why do you get all the bad branches?
Yeah, I'm talking to Mason here. He had been getting some incredibly bad luck, and we had been getting through. So a jump putt here, I want to give this a slight bid. This is a really long putt. Turn it over the slightest bit, but on the back side of the green, going to be some weird footing, but it's a shorter putt that I should be able to make. And yeah, it'd be really nice to get 3 birdies in a row and turkey. Not really having to deal with this tree at all, just the downhill footing. And right side, maybe it could have caught, probably not. I just left it right, and a really bad miss there. Should have just taken more time, calm myself down. It's still a par, so not the worst. Going to hole 1, I did change my play. At this point, the wind started to swirl a lot, so I'm going to go with my S-Line MD1. Thought I threw this good, and it hits the tree on the right side. If it got past that, it could have had a chance just to go straight, give myself a chance. Then we go drop, forehand roller. Had a really bad reaction to the ground, and then when it went to the right side, the shrubs on the right side, it got a wonderful kick out, rolled me into the circle. So here, not really dealing with much wind here that I can feel, about 20, 25, and I don't know if I just left this high or it lifted. I felt like it lifted, but yeah, bad miss, hit the band, and back to even par on the round. Hole 2 trying to make the adjustment from last round, still throwing my MD5, just want to try to rip it over flats and leave it the slightest bit too high, gets knocked down by the iron branch. Still pushes forward decent enough, does not roll OB this time. And yes, I'm going to try to run this as much as possible. Hard to get the power with the straddle. Put it on a little bit too much hyzer, lands right beside the basket and curls inside the bullseye, so a par that I'm fine with taking. Just wish that I could have been more committed on that shot. I probably should have thrown the MD5 or the drop a little bit wider. Speaking of drop, hole 3 trying to throw the same shot as last round. You can see the wind rippling across the pond right there. We thought this had a chance, and then it just held it over so bad. I don't know why I clapped there.
We thought like every single one of y'all
Yeah,
thought
I say it right there.
A millisecond.
We all thought this could have been an ace, and it just held over so bad. Thought this was a lot shorter than what it was. So now I'm looking straight back at the pond on this about 25-footer with a headwind. Really hard to commit here. Downhill stands here. And with a ripping headwind, essentially no chance. No commitment at all, just because my disc was nose down to begin with. And we're having to tap in a par. It's fine on hole 3. You need to throw a good shot on 3 or make a good putt on 3 for the birdie. So hole 4, finally, I leave it short enough. This is a perfect tee shot on hole 4. I'm excited there. Like, absolutely perfect with the drop. I want to throw the same splice that I did on the 3rd shot last round. Just want to throw it on the 2nd shot here. Just pull it over on some anhyzer, and I leave it way inside. Maybe I can punch through that right side a little bit, and I do. I still have a putt here. There is like a little vine that splits my putt in half here, and straddle putts I'm not the best at, so try to give it a bid, hit the vine, and it kicks us out. Should be fine though. Set up for relatively easy par here. Complete miss. Right side chains, just pulled it. I'm not excited at all. And now tapping in a bogey on a hole where I threw a perfect tee shot. That is very unfortunate. So hole 5, trying to throw the same thing as last round. My splice high on hyzer. On the forehand, I thought this was perfect, just barely not far enough, barely not pushed enough around that tree. So we're left short. Decent look here. We still have a hyzer in. Gonna play the drop, try to hit this inside gap, and just completely pulled it. It gets kicked down into some bad shrubbery, showing some negative emotion there. I was kind of out of it at this point. I was fatigued. Throw the tempo inside. Speaking of tempo, you can probably get one at joerobdisc.com. Use code RWEST71 for free shipping on anything over $20. But still got a putt here, an uphill putt, probably almost circle 2. Have a tree in my way. I mean, it was a decent putt, just left it low left. Yeah, not excited about that. I was really leaning on my putt these 2 rounds, and it's disappointing when I have a miss like that. You finally get to see the tee shot on hole 6. I just want to throw a ripped anhyzer with my black T-Bird, the Vinomacula Swirled Star T-Birds. I love them, but just want to pull it over. And as I mentioned, a little bit fatigued and just not getting as much power on my backhand today. As it looks pretty bad. It just goes straight forever. Gets caught up in some stuff that is really guarded. Absolute jail over here. My buddy Lance threw a insane shot from just behind me. I'm asking him about the tomahawk that he threw, and I want to try the same. Pretty sure he ended up saving birdie from behind where I was, and with essentially looking at the same thing. Throw my tempo,
iron lead.
and it gets caught
That's up and
immediately. It was pretty close. So, putting here from the left side with long putts. No chance of really making it. Just trying to pitch up here. You get enough power on it, a little bit of anhyzer, and it's going to end up on the backside of the green. Should be a relatively routine par here. Do not want a par, want an eagle or birdie, but taking a par will not be too bad. There's a nice putt. 2 over, going into the last 2 holes. Goal is get back to even. So I'm going to switch to the backhand on hole 7, throwing my in-blend alpaca that's really beat in. Just going to trust it on a hyzer flip. This was probably the best feeling backhand of the day. Just left it on too much hyzer and then get kicked into the circle. Really, I thought that this was much closer. I thought it could have been kicked into the basket, honestly. But looking at about a 20-25 footer here, just short of the baskets. Boom. Low left, good make. Good way to bounce back, and playing kind of going right now. I know I'm out of it. Will's shooting way hot. He's up by a ton of strokes at this point, but throwing my tempo like I did last round, pull it over a little bit too much and hits the last tree on the backside. So we get kicked down. This is a really tough putt. I have to throw like a swooping hyzer that stays low but is really punchy. That's what I try to do here. Got to get under those limbs. Just not enough power. Decent bid, but leaves us with a longer putt on the left side looking uphill. I'm right behind the tree on the left here. So, just a nice confidence booster if I can make this right now. There is a good make to end the round. So we finished 1 over, not the best finish for being on lead card. Congrats to Will, man. What a tournament. Both rounds over 1,000. Yeah, the ratings were not too good at this point, but a lot of good putts, not too good of throwing. Know what I got to do. So, see ya.